History remembers wars, kings, and revolutions. But long before modern cities rose, and long before technology reshaped human life, ancient people built something that seemed impossible. They built monuments so massive, so precise, and so mysterious that even today, historians and engineers struggle to fully explain them. These were not just buildings. They were statements. Statements of power, belief, fear, and ambition. These structures would later be called the Seven Wonders of the ancient world. They were scattered across deserts, mountains, and great cities. Some have been destroyed by time, earthquakes, and war. Others vanished so completely that only written descriptions remain. But one of them still stands, silent, unbroken, watching humanity for more than 4,000 years. To understand these wonders, you must imagine a world without machines. No cranes, no engines, no electricity. Only human hands, simple tools, and impossible dreams. Every stone placed was a decision. Every wall built was a risk. And every monument carried a message meant to outlive its creators. The first wonder rises from the burning sands of Egypt. It stands on the Giza Plateau, where the desert meets the sky. This is the Great Pyramid of Giza, the oldest and most famous of all the wonders. When people first see it, they often fall silent, because the pyramid does not look real. It looks too perfect, too large, too deliberate. It was built more than 4,500 years ago for a ruler named Pharaoh Khufu. He wanted something no king had ever achieved before. He wanted to become immortal. In ancient Egyptian belief, death was not the end. It was a journey. Pharaohs believed they would rise again as gods. But to do that, their bodies had to be protected. Their treasures had to be preserved. Their power had to be remembered. So Khufu ordered the construction of a tomb unlike anything in history. Workers gathered from across the kingdom, farmers, laborers, craftsmen, and engineers. Not slaves, as many people believe, but citizens serving their king. For years, they cut massive blocks of limestone. Each block weighed as much as a car. Then they dragged them across the desert. Slowly, the pyramid began to rise, day after day, year after year, until it reached a height of nearly 150 meters. For almost 4,000 years, it remained the tallest structure on Earth. But the real mystery is not its size. It is its precision. The pyramid is aligned almost perfectly with the north. Its base is nearly level. Its corners are almost exact. Even today, building something this accurate would be difficult. How did they do it? No one knows for certain. Some believe they used ramps. Others believe they used lost techniques that disappeared with time. Inside, hidden chambers protect the king's resting place. Narrow passageways lead deep into the stone. These spaces were designed not just to hide the body, but to protect it forever. Because this monument was not built for the living. It was built for eternity. And somehow it worked. Empires rose. Empires fell. Wars were fought. Civilizations disappeared. But the pyramid remained quiet, patient, waiting. It has watched the world change in ways its builders could never imagine. And it still stands today. A reminder that even in the quietest moments of history, humans were capable of creating something that could outlive time itself. Yet the greatest secret of the pyramid is not hidden in its chambers, but in its purpose. It proved that humans could challenge time itself. It proved that belief could move mountains, and it proved that even in an ancient world, people were thinking far beyond their own lives. The pyramid was a message sent into the future, a message that someone was here, someone powerful, someone determined to never be forgotten. Today, millions travel across the world just to stand beside it. They look up at the stones and feel something difficult to explain. Not fear, not excitement, but perspective. Because in that quiet desert, people realize how small one lifetime really is, and how powerful a single decision can become when it is built to last forever. And this was only the beginning. Beyond the deserts of Egypt, other rulers would attempt their own impossible dreams. Some would succeed, others would vanish, but their stories would shape history just as deeply. The next wonder would rise in a very different land, waiting silently for its moment to be remembered again by the world. Far from the pyramids of Egypt, beyond endless deserts and along the banks of a powerful river, there once stood a city unlike any other. Its walls were so wide that chariots could race across the top. Its gates shined with blue glazed bricks. Its towers touched the sky. This was the ancient city of Babylon. To the people who lived there, Babylon was the center of the world. And within this mighty city, there was said to be a wonder that defied nature itself: the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Unlike the pyramid, which rose from the desert floor, these gardens were said to rise into the air, layer upon layer of terraces, filled with trees, flowers, and flowing water. A green mountain in the middle of a dry, dusty land. But the most fascinating part was not how they looked. It was why they were built. The story begins with a king. His name was Nebuchadnezzar II. He was one of the most powerful rulers of his time. A conqueror, a builder, a man who transformed Babylon into a city of glory. But despite his power, there was one thing he could not conquer: the sadness of his queen. She came from a distant homeland, a place filled with hills, forests, and cool winds. In Babylon, she found only flat land and endless heat. She missed the green of her home. She missed the feeling of life around her. The king saw her pain, and he made a decision that would echo through history. He would build her a mountain, not from earth, but from stone. Engineers and workers began creating massive terraces, stacking them high above the ground. Each level was covered with deep soil. Trees were planted, flowers were brought from distant lands, bushes and vines were carefully placed. But there was a problem: water. In the burning heat of Babylon, keeping plants alive was nearly impossible, especially high above the ground. So they created something extraordinary: a hidden system that lifted water from the river below and carried it upward. Some believe it used pumps. Others believe it used a chain of buckets turned by human hands. Slowly, water flowed upward, and the gardens lived. From a distance, it looked impossible. A floating forest. Travelers who saw it could hardly believe their eyes. They wrote about trees hanging in the air, shade falling over stone walls, cool air in the middle of the desert. It was more than a garden. It was a symbol of love, a symbol of power, and a symbol that humans could reshape nature itself. But unlike the pyramid, the gardens did not survive. Time erased them. Wars came. Empires fell. The river shifted. Stone collapsed. And the wonder disappeared. Today, no one knows exactly where it stood. Some historians even question if it existed at all. No ruins, no clear proof, only ancient descriptions and endless mystery. And yet, its story refuses to die. Because the idea of the gardens is more powerful than stone. It reminds us that not all wonders are built to last forever. Some exist only in memory. Some exist only in stories. And sometimes the quietest acts are the most powerful. A king did not build the gardens to show his enemies strength. He built them for one person. In a quiet moment, a moment that outlived his empire. Today, Babylon itself is mostly silent. Its walls are broken, its glory faded. But its legend remains, because thousands of years ago, in the middle of a harsh and unforgiving world, someone chose to create beauty where none existed before. And that choice became one of the greatest wonders in human history. But even as the gardens faded into dust, humanity's desire to challenge the impossible did not fade with them. In another land, beside the endless blue of the sea, a new monument was rising. Not to honor death, not for love, but as a warning. A warning that would stand tall against the horizon, waiting for its moment to enter history.